Abundance highs middle 70s. Afternoon in the Coachella Valley. Sunshine high upper 70s to lower 80s. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. We got a pretty big show planned for you. A little bit later on, we're going to be talking to the very big, very wonderful, very amazing Jeff Steinberg, yes, coach of football. It's going to happen. And they're actually bringing it to my area of the woods, Redondo Beach, which is a pretty big team, so they're going to go against them. They did a really big matchup the last game, and we're going to talk about that as well as what they're going to do for this game moving forward. So we're excited about that. We got Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
Now, I know you got a lot of things going on. I know I saw an ad for Wakanda coming up next week. This week, I don't really know what to say other than tell everyone go watch Black Adam with, the fam, right?
That is true. I don't really know what's coming out other than if you're a anime fan and like One Piece. Red, the new film, is hitting theaters today, I believe.
I saw something on that. I don't know. I haven't followed this. Is it like on Netflix or is it on one of those to get caught up, or can you watch it by itself? Or
I'm not sure if you can watch it by itself because there's a lot to it. But if you want, you can. But you could always catch up. It's actually on Netflix.
Okay.
Although there are a number of episodes to catch up on. There's like 1,040, something like that number.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so it's a series full of watching. Got it. Okay, so it's a big following.
It really is. It's a lifestyle. It's been going on for, oh my God, almost 20 years now.
Okay, yeah. Then I kind of feel kind of dumb talking about it that way, but well, that makes sense because I saw it. I was looking. I'm like, okay, what do I want to watch? I'm like, oh, there's nothing. There's this anime. It was like second in place, and I was like, okay, I wonder what that's about. But I know I've seen the characters before, so I was like, okay, I just don't know the story. I don't know how it goes. So I would imagine it kind of sits on its own and then you get caught up. Kind of like, what was it, Avatar, Airbender? Like, they did that a couple times, right? Not the movie, but the...
Oh, the series? Yes, the series was good because it wasn't as long. But you know what? I actually started watching the One Piece series, and it's actually pretty good. It's a story about a pirate whose name is Luffy, and he's trying to be the Pirate King and find something called the One Piece. So,
okay, that sounds fun. All right, speaking of fun, we got somebody else that knows fun, and he knows it for the fam. In fact, he's got some cool stuff over there, and I'm like, okay, what else you got? And he's got quite a lot. So I'm talking about none other than our very good friend, Mr. Prevo Partners. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. It's good to be back, Aaron. How are you?
Good. I know, of course, we're always talking about fun here on the show. And when it comes to some of the products that you bring to us, we kind of go, okay, what else you got? And then you bring some things that we go, didn't see that coming. Today you got a few like that. Can you say which one you think is the, fun for the fam?
Oh boy. So for fun for the family, I guess you got to jump to the big one on the list, and that's this electric skateboard. And I think the reason I wanted to bring them on to talk about this today is because though they're not brand new thing, they're not like something you haven't seen or heard of. It's just that the technologies continues to advance and get better, and the batteries are kind of amazing. And if you've ever seen somebody on one, in case you don't have experience, you probably wonder, like, how are they going that fast, and how is it stable? And it is quite remarkable. So the one I'm talking about today is this Meepo Shuffle S, and it's really an example of like the entry level. If you're going to get into this, they go on up in expense. So this is $560. It's not a cheap toy, but it also is basically a mode of transportation because it it can go like 18 miles an hour or 29 miles per hour and can go up to 18 miles so almost 30 miles an hour standing up. And then it could get you a long distance on its battery charge, and then it takes 3.5 hours to recharge. So if this is how you commute to work, and you have the ability to just charge it while you're at work, that's an incredibly inexpensive way to travel to and from for people who can do that, depending where they live and where they work. Obviously, if you don't have to get on a freeway or anything. So kind of amazing. And that, again, that's just the kind of entry level is of this. They go on up from there in terms of speed and distance and all that kind of stuff. And if you're curious how it works, you have a remote in your hand essentially that controls it in terms of picking up your speed and all that. And then in a lot of other ways, it operates like a regular skateboard. I'm not a skateboarder, so personally, it terrifies me. I would be so scared that I'm going to step off or like break my ankle. But people who, the story with these is that they're incredibly stable, and that even for beginners, you can really learn quickly. And I think with younger people, it's really amazing, not to be ageist, but my kids do not have this. They don't have one of those hoverboards or any of that stuff, but they were at a friend's house, and my 10-year-old stood on the hoverboard, and he was just slowly creeping around their house and navigating really well. And I was like, I've seen the videos of people flipping backwards and having problems with those. I couldn't believe how well he could do that. And I really think it helps to be smaller and younger in a lot of ways when you're learning these things.
Okay, hold up. I did see a video with a young girl touching what was a hoverboard. And I'm like, okay, I thought it was digital. I'm not going to lie. So you're telling me this is a thing? Where am I finding this at? Where am I missing this at?
Well, again, hoverboard, let's be clear. You're not floating. It's basically the Segway without the handles. That's what they all call them, hoverboards.
Ah, okay, those ones. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got wheels. Don't get me wrong. But I couldn't believe he could do it. He'd never done that before, and I think it's very intuitive for kids. If they've done anything, athletic at all, they pick up on this stuff, and their balance is just so much different. It's kind of amazing. But I was tempted to do it, but I just met these people, and I didn't want to like bite it in their living room on their toy. So I'm like, I'll have to try this a different time.
Yeah, I get that. They actually have. We should review it, and I think we should, since you're scared about it, we should definitely have you do it. It's called the Omni Hoverboard. Okay, it's a new technology that's actually out. We like talking new. And I love that you brought this up because it's so true when it comes to I'll give you an example, and I hate to say this, but when I was young, I grew up on a hill, and everything was downhill, literally, right? And I was just like, no. And when I wanted to skateboard, I got a skateboard, I remember, but I didn't like the balancing part of it because it just was like falling underneath me, right? But this one, I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. Hopefully it doesn't slow down our thing here. But that is actually more like drone-ish, but hoverboard-ish. And it's by Omni Hoverboard. So what I say, and it's been covered by some big guys like, the big, like Time Magazine, all the big guys, Discovery, New York Times, Wired. And they got patents on this, but they showed it at a big thing there. Would you do that?
Absolutely, I would do that. That sounds amazing.
I would think you'd say no, man, because that's so high up. I'd be like, no, thank you. But if
like everything in my adrenaline rush, it just makes me want to try it. Like, I don't know, that would be so cool.
Okay, well then, all right. I just say wear like a full suit in case it crashes. It actually reminds me of, and Jesse, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to. In Spider-Man, he had that hoverboard thing. They've been showing these around, and you think they're like on a string. They're not. These are actual, think like those little drones that go around, Jess, and then you're like, okay, does that make sense?
Okay, thank God. I was the only one that not thinking that. Yes, I wanted to be the Green Goblin, so I would totally rock that hoverboard and start throwing pumpkins at kids. No, not real pumpkins, but like fake pumpkins that like explode with powder. But yeah, I'd be like, yeah, that's me. So probably not a good thing.
No, it's not. But that's omnihoverboards.com. Go check it out. That's technology there based on what you're saying. But I love this entry to what you're saying. I think it's good for kids. I think it's a good way to learn. I think it gets any person, especially if they're in the area where they could kind of move around and they can kind of get from one place to another. The fact that they go that fast, and I think it's like on like a 2-hour time, right? Or they charge pretty fast as well, right?
Yeah, they charge up in about this one's like 3.5 hours, but some of them will charge within a couple of hours. So again, if you're taking it somewhere and you're going to stop for a while, you have the ability to charge it back up so it's ready for your return trip.
Okay, I'm happy about that. Not gonna lie. All right, next on the list, you got something which is actually, I don't understand it, and I think some people be offended. The chubby button. Does that help the
Yeah,
chub
the
go
chubby
away, or
button.
what?
Yeah. So I don't know what you're thinking, but it's probably not what you're thinking.
Okay.
So it's basically a little remote control that you could attach either to your wrist or anywhere else that has bigger buttons to control your devices. It's really just like a simple Bluetooth device for, think about the times again as we lead into winter in this part of the country. You end up wearing gloves all the time. You can't really function your phone. Even the ones that have the special gloves where you're supposed to be able to use a touch screen, they at the time. So this would be an actual physical button that you could put somewhere that would allow you to skip, pause, change the volume of your device with hard buttons again. So it's kind of like using technology to go back to the physical button for certain needs. And I only put it up because I thought it's kind of interesting with the winter scenario, but also for people who work in industries where you are wearing gloves or you're maybe further away from your, say you're working construction and you have music source and you can't really use voice controls because it's too noisy. It doesn't pick up on your commands. So having something like this to allow you to pause it so you can maybe talk to your coworker or change the volume or switch songs remotely could be really handy. So there's probably a few applications. It's $80. It's a really simple little device, and the way Bluetooth is so intuitive anymore. I mean, you can go back in time when Bluetooth first kind of came out, right? And there was flip phones, and you could Bluetooth to an earpiece, and they were, that was the thing. And now Bluetooth has really taken over connectivity in a big way, where you can have multiple devices Bluetooth connected to each other, right? And that's awesome and makes things so much more functional. And this is just another little gadget that if it makes sense, you go, oh, I could have my music going or whatever, podcast, and I could quickly pause it without it having to mess with my gloves and all that kind of stuff. So just a little convenience factor, a way to enhance your use of the technology you already have.
Yeah, it's for both the iPhone and the Android. It's got big buttons if you have gloves, which is great for winter, by the way. I know you are in a very cold area, and gloves are kind of like a necessity, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. And it's clumsy, right? If you're wearing gloves, and even in your vehicle, there's so much now that's touchscreen with newer vehicles that, again, hopefully you get your car warmed up, you can take your gloves off. But a lot of people like to drive with their gloves on, and some things just don't work with touch screens when you're wearing those gloves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and I'm glad you're bringing this to us because sometimes people go, okay, I need something a little bit more than what you got, but for the price, it's not bad. And I love that you can do it for Siri, Google, or answering calls. That's really good. Controlling music or a camera and video, especially nowadays. There's so many people kind of like, hey, I don't have my camera on. You can push a button. All right, before we let you go, I know we got something else going on, and it's for people that are always on cam. Some people I keep saying, hey, you need to be lit up, and some are like getting better about it, but what do you recommend?
Yeah, so most of us who are doing, Zoom calls or video chats, that kind of stuff anymore, even if you're not a YouTuber, as we were talking about earlier before the show started, most of us are on our videos now, and the ring light is a really common thing most people use. They work great depending which one you get. But this is a different one. It's not technically a ring. It's called the Litra or Litra Glow, Litra, and it's an LED light with some, it's supposed to be premium soft lighting, and it's just a square, and it attaches to your monitor, so it'll give you good light during your streaming. And again, there are a lot of these products out there. This is one that gets really good reviews, and I think. I've gone through a couple of ring lights because sometimes you get one and they're not really as good as you were hoping, and the light's kind of strange, or I've had them like fall off and then they crack and you're like, oh, I got to get a new one. So this one's $60. It's a good quality. It has like I said, a clamp that you put on the top of your, wherever your camera is, whether it's on your monitor or if you have an external one, you put it on your laptop or your computer. So something to look for if you're needing to replace one or if you're looking to up your game. I still have plenty of calls with people where they're backlit and you can barely see their face, and it's really not that hard anymore to just look into some of these devices to improve your appearance during a call, and it just makes it a little more personable and professional.
Yeah, and you could get a lot brighter with these. They used to make them where they were kind of expensive, and I'm like, you know what? We have one at the station, not gonna lie, and it's like I bought it for the station to be honest, because I'm like, guys, we need to light up, the room, because you're too dark. And then it broke, and I'm like, okay, can you get another one? They didn't. I'm like, okay, but this is the only thing I can build them on, right?
Yeah. And if you think about professional photographers, and they have the big reflective sheets, right, to help with lighting, natural light, and that kind of thing. It's not a ring; it's a flat surface that's reflecting. And sometimes, if you ever been on a call with some of the ring light, if the person's wearing glasses and you can see the rings in their lenses, so this would eliminate that too. Not that there couldn't be some glare, but it's like maybe a little more of a natural glow. And so just something to think about if you're trying to improve your space.
And it goes from what they call candlelight to cool blue, which depending on what your background is, that can make a difference. So if it's like that and it's portable, I like that as well. So you could put it anywhere, including a laptop or at home. There's pretty cool things, and for the price, honestly, it's worth it. Because then, like, if you have a situation with a green screen or something behind you, you're ready to go. So pretty good stuff.
And I would just shy people away from getting the $15 version of whatever you find on Amazon, because you're probably getting what you pay for, frankly, and the lighting isn't going to be that good. And so you might as well just pay up and get something that's a little better quality.
Yep, I agree with that. All right, well, I know you got other places to go. Thank you very much for spending time with us. Joel of Prevo Partners. Prevo Partners is where it's at. How do we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn, Twitter. Happy to answer questions or connect anytime somebody's curious about technology. I love researching and digging in, so we can always keep the conversation going.
All right, Joel, thank you very much for spending time with us. Tech Talk with Joel's where it's at. Use the hashtag Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, our good friends at LinkedIn. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks, Joel, and tell the fam I said hi.
I will. Thanks, Aaron.
All right, more when we get back right after this.
KMET AM 1490 presents Beaumont High School football. Join Mitch McClellan, Scott Reed, and Brett Malik as the Cougars meet the Lusinger Olympians in round 1 of the Forge CIF Southern Section playoffs, Friday, November 4th at 6:40 for the pregame show, followed by the kickoff at 7 p.m.
Beaumont football broadcasts are sponsored by Del Taco Beaumont, Oak Valley Florist, Applebee's in Beaumont, Little & Sons Insurance Services, the Sandtrap Sports Bar and Grill, Cherry Valley Nursery and Landscape Supply, Donut Delight on Highland Springs Road, Truckworks, La Michoacana, Pericone Juices, and Mexican Restaurant.
That's Beaumont High School football action this Friday night at 6:40 for the pregame show, live from Redondo Beach on your home for Cougar football, KMET AM 1490.
New teen driver in the family? Just bought your first home? Have a new bundle of joy? Every life change matters, and by reviewing your insurance policy with Little & Sons Insurance Services, you could be benefiting with big savings. Little & Sons Insurance Services, a family-owned insurance agency who values the old-fashioned way of doing business. They work for you, not an insurance company, meaning your best interests are at heart. They can custom tailor your policy based on specific needs at a price you can afford. Home, auto, or business, you're covered. Call 1-844-9-LITTLE. That's 1-844-9-LITTLE, or go online to little, the letter N, sons.com. That's littlensons.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Bernadette, the host of One Life Radio, your #1 source for alternative and holistic health since 2011. One Life Radio is designed to educate and inspire. Visit us at oneliferadio.com, because you get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. Get out there today and make the most of it. Tune in weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1490 KMET Smart Talk, ABC News Radio.
When you want the best performance for your vehicle, think only of Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, right off the I-10 and 60 freeways. Check out Scott's complete list of performance products on their website at hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers can recommend ways for your car or truck to get better gas mileage and cut down on emissions. Need your car or truck to pass smog only? Go to Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. Find out all of your questions on vehicle performance by logging on to hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. hdrinfo.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Make sure to download the app, especially for tonight's game. It's a really big one. It's a big team against a big team. We got Coach Jeff with us. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. The question, though, is how you doing after the last game? I understand they gave you a run for the money, and boy, you guys were so close. What happened?
Well, I'll tell you what. You know the saying, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So we came close, but the bottom line is we came up short. Ukaipa had just a terrific game plan. They played so well, and down the stretch they played better than us, and sometimes that's the way things go, and it's definitely a hard pill to swallow. But you got to be able to move on, and we had to get ready for a first round playoff game, and we've had a great week of practice.
Well, and it was close. For those tuning in right now, wherever you're tuning in from, download the app. It's free at KMET 1490 AM. I don't know if we have it on like replay or something, but it was tight. 22-21. That's a very tight game. That's like nail biting. And that's the kind of game you want to go to, you know?
Yeah, it was a great game for all those who were there. And, I think that, what am I going to say? If you're going to lose a game, you want to get down swinging. And those games, there's always a lot of great takeaways from those games.
Yeah. KMT is the home for Beaumont High School football. You can listen to every game and away broadcast live, especially tonight. The CIF playoffs begin. Cougars are in Division 5. They play a first-round game versus Luzinger at Redondo Beach. We got Coach Jeff Steinberg with us. Look, I know going forward, you always are one that goes, okay, what do we learn? What are we doing? And where are we going? And sometimes on the road, you have, time to kind of think, right? You got to take a drive. It's kind of a big drive out to Redondo, not going to lie. You're kind of in my neck of the woods. And even me, I live in L.A. Redondo is a nice place to be. It's going to be cold, though. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, it's a different kind of cold out near the beach. We've been fortunate. It's been a cooler week, so we've been kind of practicing in the elements anyways. And, playoffs just has a different feel to it. You get that fall weather that kicks in, and I think that you've got to be able to play in these kind of elements if you want to go far in the playoffs, because it's not going to be like it was at the beginning of the season, that's for sure. So I kind of look at the change of weather as just an indicator of it just reminds you of, okay, here we go, it's crunch time.
Yeah, I get that. And it is crunch time. I'm so excited that you guys, are in this. Again, the CIF playoff brackets were announced this Sunday. And because you place in Division 5, you're what is considered an at-large team. Of course, going where you're going, are you any... do you have an idea how they play? Because I know it's kind of the Inland Empire, San Bernardino, Riverside, and all the way. I mean, again, for those that don't know, and if you're on the road, I was told a lot of people are going to be on the road tonight because they're going to come all the way into LA. A lot of people, it takes time to come into LA because of traffic but you'll be going against traffic, thank God. But even the drive home is going to be a long one. Sometimes there's closures, so be ahead of it. You probably won't get home till midnight or beyond. Are you guys ready for that?
Yeah. We had a lot of film that we got on them, pretty much all their games, and so nowadays in this day and age, it's not like you go into a game not knowing much against the team, even though they're unfamiliar in the sense of they play their football over there against teams, and there's not really any common opponents. You can gather so much information on teams just with the internet and the scouting service that we use. you have everything at your fingertips that you need to help prepare for a game.
Yeah, I agree. I know the broadcast team is already there. They're getting ready for it. Tonight is the big event. I know you guys will, do what you do. I know you guys are ready. Is there anything that you could tell us? I always like this little, I know we talk team. I know we talk, like life sometimes, and we kind of mix it up. But is there anything that you learned in the last game that you say, you know what, guys, we're good for having played it. We're good for having, we didn't give up and we went all the way. Is there anything with that you said, okay, these guys are ready for the next thing no matter what? Even though it was a point, it's still one of those, it could have been, even, the other way around.
Yeah, you've got to come out right from the opening kickoff ready to roll, and it's not like you don't want to feel like, okay, well, we're gonna get settled into this game. No, there's no getting settled in. You've got to be ready to go right from the jump, and be able to play on the edge. Play on the edge. It's more of hey, we're playing to win, and not playing to lose. And we sound like we were really tight last game, and you could see the difference between how Yucaipa played and how we played. They were playing to win, and we were playing not to lose. And there's a huge difference when you play really loose on the edge, not afraid to make a mistake, versus we're not taking chances, we're overthinking things, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, it's a big, big, big game. Cougars are playing Lusinger High School, Redondo Beach tonight. Big schedule. Remember, KMET is the home for Beaumont High School football. You can always follow them either on the road or even from wherever you're at. You can listen tonight live. Start at 6:40 with our big team: Mitch McClellan, Brett Malik, Scott Reed, for the playoff game from Redondo Beach at 6:40. I know kickoff starts a little later. Before we let you go, any big shout-outs or any big, for the team members or anyone who supports the team?
Yeah, I want to give a huge shout-out to Sean Dyer. Last week had a huge game with 8 receptions and just been working his butt off. And he's been pretty consistent all year, and he's just a great kid. Like, one of those kids, I don't know if he's ever missed a day of school in his life. He works hard every day, and he does it all in silence. Doesn't draw attention to himself, but just goes out and kicks butt. And I'm really proud of him. He's just an overall, aside from being a good football player, he's just a great kid.
All right, great to hear it. Jeff, thank you very much for spending time with us. Congratulations on going forward, and congratulations on getting the next team next level.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, more when we get back right here on KMET 1490 AM. We'll be right back.
The Fat Greek in Yucaipa, where you can get authentic, delicious, true Greek food. Authentic gyros, Greek salads, pitas, falafel, hamburgers, burritos, and oh yes, baklava. The Fat Greek has a large selection of wines, ice-cold domestic and imported. Come on down to the Fat Greek located on Yucaipa Boulevard in the city of Yucaipa. Open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. The Fat Greek has delivery, drive-through, sit-down, and a catering service. So bring in a family or give Nicholas and Christopher a call at 909-797-6018. Eat Greek, live long. Remember, if you want authentic Greek food, it's the Fat Greek in Yucaipa.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, Truckworks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, Truckworks specializes in RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at Truckworks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
Taxpayers are in the hole with Christy Holstage. Christy Holstage backed the Measure D sales tax hike. Now, Californians are struggling under the worst inflation in 40 years. And as a local mayor, Holstage repeatedly passed budgets that hiked taxes. But where did the money go? Holstage voted for racial reparations, pushing $46 million in payouts. Holstage even voted for a program that gives a no-strings-attached basic guaranteed income exclusively to transgender residents. And Holstage helped lead an organization that openly supports defunding police. And when she wasn't busy voting to raise taxes, Christie was personally profiting from her elected office. While mayor, the city voted to rezone the property investments Holstage and her rich real estate husband owned without disclosing her interests to the public. Now she wants you to give her a promotion to the state assembly. If you want out of the tax dollar hole, vote no to Christie Holstage by November 8th. Political ad paid for by the Inland Empire Taxpayers Association, FPPC ID 1285847.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Football season is back, and every Monday night, the Two Coot Lounge at the Yamava Resort and Casino in San Manuel is where you need to be. Come cheer on your favorite team and become a Club Serrano member for your chance to win incredible prizes, enjoy food and drink specials, and be entertained by the 66ers dance team. It's the Monday night pigskin party at the Two Coot Lounge at the brand new Yamava Resort and Casino in San Manuel in Highland, California. Rep your team, and we'll see you there this Monday.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, download the app. It is free, very simple, and a way to always stay in the know, especially if you're attending the game. If you're attending the game, you got a drive ahead of you. There's always great shows, especially leading up to and even after. So join us right there, KMET 1490 AM. It's where it's at. Jess, I know you've been kind of looking at the things with Musk, and I don't think you saw this, though. Heard is saying, not going to do Twitter right now. You wonder why?
Yeah, explain. I don't understand what's happening.
Okay, so she said no because she used to date the Twitter new founder, creator. Everything's gonna say he did, but he didn't do. He just bought it, right? So she's saying, not gonna, no, because she knows, man. She knows, Jess. That's her. Actually, it looks completely different in that picture. That's on her Instagram account, or it was. I'm not really sure, with the lipstick on Musk's little cheek. Again, that was when, but she had 5.3 million followers on her Instagram account. She still has that. I don't know how many she has on her Twitter, but it literally says, do not want to do. It says this account doesn't exist. I wonder if she's going to go back at some point. They were linked way back in 2016. Let's see. And then, of course, the following year, it was Depp that they went public. After a short breakup in 2017, they ended it in 2018. But they appear to remain friendly, and her legal team listed Musk as a potential witness in the battle over defamation with Depp. But he didn't end up testifying. So, wonder. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Her Twitter page is gone. That is hilarious. Not gonna lie. But it's not like everybody can comment on her things anyway, because she blocked all comments on things and stuff. So, because ever since the, I think a year ago, yeah, she started getting blasted on her Instagram, her Twitter, and all that stuff. So,
yeah, well, it's interesting because I'm looking at this. It said during the testimonies, one person who did testify was Christian Carino, who's a talent agent of both, Heard and Depp, who presented texts exchanged with Heard after her relationship with Musk, which ended in 2017. And one of them, Heard, had texted that she was just filling space with Musk after her marriage ended. Whoa, yikes, just filling up space? What does that mean? I wouldn't want to be, you know what I mean? Come on.
Right? I would be heated. But she knows what she did wrong, so that's probably why she left Twitter. Hopefully she doesn't come back.
Well, I think she sees something coming just in case. Because now, I will say in his defense, Musk had tweeted in May about both, Johnny and Heard, He said, I hope they both move on. He added, at their best, they are each incredible. So he was like, you know what I mean? Like, he was playing it class act. But I think with all the layoffs that are happening right now, she's like, I know where this is going. Like, I don't want that out there, because I can guarantee he would say something if he wanted to. But I think she's just playing, like, cautionary thing, you know what I mean? It's kind of like if all of a sudden, I know you would never do this, but I guess there are some people where you're like, they don't want things out there. I'll give you an example. Like Perry, we talked about Perry, right? The book there. Like, he's dishing on all the people that knew him. I'm like, why are you doing that? And so I think she kind of knows, like, when Musk kind of goes like, okay, I'm going to tell you. I think someone in his team talked bad about him. So now he's like, forget you. And now he's laying people off and somebody's going to sue because they didn't give enough notice. So everybody's upset over at Twitter. But, if I were her, I probably would do the same, because you don't know what kind of relationship they had, right? Especially if, like, he found out, oh, I'm being told, I was just to keep her, she basically just had me around just for fun. What the hey? You know what I mean? I don't want to be that. Do you?
Pretty much. I mean, what do you expect? He has money. She wants the money. So what do you expect to happen?
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Anyway, all right. I know you're working on something. What's going on, Jess?
Oh my God. No. Two things actually. First off, when he started talking about that chubby button, I was like, oh my God, I think I have that in my pocket and I hit it a few too many times.
Wrong direction, huh?
Yes, I was just like, that's where my mind instantly went. So I was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was talking about the YouTube thing. And so I do not know who Mr. Beast is because I don't watch a lot of YouTube, at least that specific kind of YouTube stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, no, this Mr. Beast guy sounds like a really cool dude. He was passing out like iPhones and really big gifts for trick or treat.
Yeah.
So apparently he was handing out like bundles of cash that's worth up to like $10,000. And the little kid looked at the cash that was given. He's like, can I have candy? So he laughed. The dad laughed. She's like, no. You can buy tons of candy with that. Just take it.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, dang, I missed out on stuff like this when I was a kid. I wish we had stuff like this.
Yeah, and for those going Mr. Beast, because it sounds like that movie with, what's it called? With M. Night Shyamalan, Bruce Willis, and, right, Beast? It sounds like that, but it's not. It's completely different.
No.
This guy...
Yeah, that's his YouTube name. His real name is Jimmy Donaldson.
Yeah, and I've seen this guy. I didn't know what he went by. He's young. And I hate saying Musk again, but according to this, even 4 days ago, it comes up, Musk suggested bringing back Vine, and he asked Mr. Beast for ideas. Well, Mr. Beast, this guy, he actually wants to raise about $150 million for his business with a $1.5 billion valuation. Now, just because it's valued in a way, like valuation means like potential, right? What it could be worth, right? Doesn't mean you're going to get that. But it's good enough to say, okay, this is what it's worth eventually. This is what I can kind of borrow because this is what it's going to be eventually. And then it's good for an investor. If an investor wants to kind of, buy in, they can do so. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what the business is. But he started on YouTube. Is that how he made his thing? Because I could see him back to what, he was giving out, bundles of $10,000 of trick-or-treaters when one kid tried to give it back in exchange for candy. I think that kid, I would be like, kid, please, just take the money. I'll buy you the candy. He's like, no, I want the candy. You're like, no, kid, we got to talk about economy, man. So, yeah, there you go.
So, yeah, he's, a lot of his videos where he's like, he'll go into like a supermarket or like a Walmart or Target. I can't remember which one because they all look the same to me. He would ask people, would you like $1,000 or would you like to give it to somebody else? Or no, would you like $1,000 or would you like to give $10,000 to somebody else?
Okay.
So, like, I'm thinking, like, what would you do?
I take the money, man. I can't do anything with the rest of the stuff. Like, this kid, he's so cute. But if I were the parent, I'd be like, take the cash. We are poor, man. So, I don't know. Cute kid, though.
Right. So, let's say if he came up to you in the supermarket, you didn't know who he was, and he asked you, would you like $1,000 or give $10,000 to the next person? You would take the money?
Oh, you would pass it on?
$1,000 is good, but $10,000 could be a lot more useful to somebody else.
So you'd pass it on?
Yeah, I probably would.
Okay, good to know.
As
I wouldn't. I need the money. I got to pay for things.
Exactly. So
you know how much gas is right now?
It's
you know
expensive.
who's paying me for it? No one. Nothing.
So every time he would ask that question, everyone who would give away the money, he would give them an additional $10,000.
Okay, what did he give this kid who said, no, I want the candy?
No, he gave him the 10 grand. He's like, just take it.
Did he really?
Yeah, he took the cash. They all took the cash. But I'm pretty sure he got plenty of candy. I mean, come on.
His name is Jimmy Donaldson. Let's see. The YouTuber then opened the door, revealed a small child standing in front of a small group. Okay. Said he could be heard saying, hey, here's 10,000. Put a bundle of money in the child's bucket. The child said thank you. An adult standing next to the child said, oh my gosh, are you serious? Child could then be seen taking the bundle of cash and trying to give it back to Donaldson. He says, no, it's yours. No, keep it. The YouTuber then gave the child and some other children who were staying with him bars of Feastables, the YouTuber's brand of chocolate products. Donaldson tweeted about the encounter on November 3rd, writing, I was handing out $10,000 on Halloween. One kid tried to trade the $10,000 for candy. He then showed a screenshot of the child trying to hand him back the cash with the caption that read, point of view, you want a Feastables bar instead of $10,000. In a separate TikTok posted on November 2nd, Donaldson could be seen handing, they're making a lot of money on TikTok, Jess. We're missing the boat here.
Apparently we are. I mean, well, he does a lot of like expensive stunts and stuff. So like if you watch his videos, I wouldn't want to copy it, but a lot of cool things.
Yeah, he does. All right. You can follow him at Mr. Beast. He's one of the most viewed and highest paid creators on the platform. He's known for giving away what Jess just said. He recreated the Netflix show Squid Game and had 456 people competing for $456,000. And in June, he gave away $500,000 to a fan in a competition inspired by Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Well, you know what? Here's what I say. If he can do it, great job. If he offers you that money, take it and run, because there are so many people right now that are just saying, I don't got the funds. Everybody's hurt, this kid, smart parent for taking him there because he obviously knew who lived there, right? So the parent's like, what? But like, okay, I watch your TikTok just so you know. So some people go to these places, by the way, which are really like, high end, and they go and treat there because they never know what they're going to get. So,
You know about like going to like the rich neighborhoods?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, that's always the plan. You get in your car, go to the rich neighborhoods because they got the expensive full-size candy bars. You know what I'm talking about.
So you're going to give the money, right, when asked?
Well, yeah. Well, it depends.
Oh, wait, what happened? I thought, what changed?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that was quick, man. He's like, wait, I got bills to pay. I got something coming up called a wedding on March 18th, right? So you got to pay some bills, man. It's expensive. He's like, wait a minute, what? Anyway.
I know. I need to work for Mr. Beast. Let's go.
All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this. Stay tuned.
We want people should know about the new Italian radio show on KMET. Like my Uncle Vinny used to say, Gumbas non stunad.
Yes, Daddy, there is no such words in Italian.
Forget about it. Tell them about the show.
The Italian radio show presented by West Coast Italian Radio.
Mondays at 4 p.m. on KMET 1490 or stream us live 24/7 from our website at WCIR.biz.
Make sure to tune in.
You don't want that we should have to tell you twice.
We're in the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us what makes you the #1 choice for handling personal injury cases.
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
It's Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennyandassociates.com or call 1-800-616-4-LAW. That's 1-800-616-4-LAW.
Everybody loves to hear what Grandpa has to say because Grandpa speaks with wisdom. here on KMET, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Be sure to listen.
Don't let insurance companies make decisions for you. Go to Pass Auto Center in Banning, your one-stop repair facility with full collision repair, auto maintenance, service, and an authorized smog center. You'll also find a full-service used car lot to fit every budget with the right vehicle for you. Trade-ins are accepted and they pay cash for your car. Pass Auto Center at 2609 West Ramsey in Banning, just off the I-10 freeway between Sunset and 22nd. Call 951-849-7878.
Standard time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit to get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems, for all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
Join Yvette Walker every Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. on KMET ABC News Radio, 1490 AM, FM 98.1, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show is dedicated to highlighting successful businesses and the individuals behind them. Yvette interviews the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 o'clock p.m.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We know you have a lot of choices. We appreciate you for choosing us. You got some people tuning in on social media. We got Eugenia Kirsten saying, take it and reinvest. Double it. Take the cash. Reinvest for college. Yeah, you know, I'm with you there. Judy Munoz tuning in. Thank you. Watching from College Place, Washington. Thank you. Let's see. We got Stephanie Reed. Good morning. Mark Blevins. Thank you. Good morning. And we guys got you on Twitter as well. We thank you as well. Not going to lie, I'm seeing a lot of stuff about Elon, and I say to him right now, you better tone it down, because now the tide is going to turn against you. So just leave it alone, let it do its thing, and just stop, okay? Because you need the team of Twitter. Otherwise, they're going to hack you, they're going to sell it, and then someone else is going to come out with a similar, thing, and then you're going to say, uh-oh. So just chill, okay? Just chill. I get you're getting, upset, and you got upset at kind of the team, and I guess he posted a picture of someone sleeping on the job, which if you're paying top dollar, Jess, you don't want to be caught sleeping on the job. You know what I mean?
Well, God, I hope I don't have cameras here. What do you mean sleeping on the job?
That's all I'm gonna say, man. Sleeping on the job. No, Jess doesn't sleep on the job because he has to make sure things are running right. But my point is this: there's a lot of things coming out. It's probably going to be a weekend of it, and, people are already going, no. But I will say he's in his right, okay? What people don't understand is sometimes people can be let go for any reason. It's usually in their agreement. They don't need a 2 weeks notice, especially if they find something like, oh, you were doing something wrong, or you were, maybe you were, like, leaking something out to someone. You can fire without notice. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth. Just remember, even though it seems like it's right, it isn't right. If you've ever worked for an employer, and I know a lot of kids don't understand how it works, but if you work for an employer and you do something wrong and they don't let that out, he has a right to, in a way, let it out, but then they have a right to say, no, that's confidential. So this whole, what do you say, what do you don't say? So he really should talk to legal first before he keeps putting his employees under, he should just say, hey, we'll just let it go, this, that, and the other. I wish you the best at your next job, because they will get a job somewhere else, and usually a competitor. Okay, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you're an employer who gets mad at your employees, you shouldn't go full on them. You know what I mean? I know you did. I get, and it was funny. It was funny for when it came to the sync thing, but this is going next level. So Musk, tone it down. All right, that's what I'm gonna say. Anyway, what's going on, Jess?
I thought you were joking. No, this person was actually sleeping on the ground. I thought you were just playing.
Yeah, no. Oh, he was sleeping on the ground? I didn't even read that. Okay, I saw a headline. I said, he was sleeping on the ground?
Yeah, there's a picture where it says when you need something from your boss at Elon. But yeah, this person's sleeping on the ground. Apparently, she's a I don't know, some type of boss over there at oh, here we go. Director of Product Management Esther Crawford was photographed wrapped up in a sleeping bag, wedged between a table and some chairs, in what looked like a conference room with a sleeping mask pulled over her eyes. Wow. Yeah. Um.
Well, okay, and to her credit, I wonder if she did it all-nighter. Sometimes people do all-nighter. Maybe he didn't know that, and he needs to communicate better with his employee. Because if she put a face mask on, it's not like, you know how some people, like, after they eat, they get kind of tired and they fall asleep at their desk in a cubicle, and you're like, what? So maybe in her defense, if she had a face mask on, because I didn't see it, again, this is me, backtracking, maybe she did all-nighter, and she's like, okay, I'm going to do all-nighter. But you got to remember, he's kind of, and there's a book about him, but you got to remember, this is a guy who owns SpaceX. They make rockets, okay? These are engineers. These are people that are used to making deadlines. So he's used to a different work ethic, not people that are going to sleep at their desk. But she probably was allowed to before because she's like, I don't want to drive home and then come back. Maybe he didn't know her schedule. Does it say what time he took it at?
I believe it did, but it's just like, go home, rest. To me, it always sounds like he wants slaves, but without actually saying the word slaves.
No, he's paying them. He's paying them. That's not slave. It's called some people. I'll give you an example. I, at one station, slept overnight there. Yeah, I know. It was weird as, weird, because it was a mall, and it was just weird. But I spent the night there, and I actually slept in the sound studio. It was weird in there, too. And then I slept in the main area. I'm like, all right, because I had to do something the very next day, and I don't want to drive in because there's a lot of traffic. So I'm like, hey, do you mind? They said, no, we don't mind. Just lock the door. I said, okay. So I did that. But again, if you had a camera on me, and there were cameras, by the way, that way they could monitor, the studio, but they weren't monitoring all the place, right? But if they were, I already asked for permission, so that's me. But I wasn't working for money. I had to be there the very next day, so that's why I stayed. But it was creepy, not gonna lie. And I probably wouldn't have gone and done it again. In fact, I think that was the only time I did it. But sometimes I pulled all-nighters, like with editing rooms and if you got to make a show happen or you got to get something done, there are all-nighters that you do. I remember at a production company called Kappa Studios, I did that. And I've seen people do that. They pull all-nighters, but you get a little rest eye, boom, you're ready for the next day. Even with Ricardo Rodriguez, we did a award show, and I spent the night. He edited. He was up 24/7 for 3 days straight. I could only do so much. I said, hey, do you have a little place? He goes, yeah, just sleep right there. I put the cover over my head, and I was out for several hours, and then I was back at it the very next day. So there are all-nighters. You don't have to be a slave. They get paid. A slave is someone who doesn't get paid a lot, and then they're demanded a lot from. So, yeah, you got to get that out of your head because she has a good job. Trust me. She's making 6 figures, Jess. So,
I guess if you
she's making 6 figures. She's making more than you. You're a slave. She's not. All right.
Yes, I am.
All right, everybody. We got to let you go. Bye-bye, everyone.